How are you, man? It's great having you with us here at Radioacktiva.
Dude, it's good to be here. It's good to see you on the screen. We haven't been to Colombia in a hot minute. I sure wish I was there right now. It's cold here in Portland, Oregon. We're getting ready for a tour of the States, but man, we had such a good time the last time we were down there.
Yeah, you played here. You played a Stereo Picnic here, and it was awesome. You know, we had Woodstock was out, and of course, Feel It Still was a huge hit here. So
Yeah.
we all were very impressed, and I loved the beginning of the show with the Beavis and Butthead images.
Uh-huh.
Ah,
That's my favorite thing. I've been doing this thing for like 20 years, and we came up on Beavis and Butthead. And Mike Judge, the creator of Beavis and Butthead, he doesn't lend those characters out for anybody. And we just kind of had that as like, you know, what if, like just a crazy fantasy. And like sometimes we'll just like reach out to celebrities knowing that they're gonna say no to stuff. You know, that's just kind of the fun thing, like being able to get some emails when you like sign to a major, like you make some famous friends. You're like, your famous friends also have famous friends, so it's like, let's see if they can do a thing. We reached out to Mike, and he was just like, oh yeah, totally, of course. And he made that so quick, and you know, we didn't know how short or how long it was going to be, how personal it was going to be. We got it back, and still every night I'll sit there and I'll watch that video and just have a single tear going down my face. I love it. It's my favorite thing.
absolutely, and it was honestly unexpected. You know, I grew up on MTV too, so just having Beavis and Butthead all of the sudden, I remember I was near the stage, and I remember just listening to the voices and just turning like, what?
Yeah.
Beavis and Butthead, they have a Beavis and Butthead video. That was so cool. And then you started playing From Whom the Bell Tolls, Metallica.
Yeah. You know it, dude.
Yeah, I was
Absolutely.
there. You guys definitely have to come back. And now, upcoming record, little we know about it. What can you tell us about it?
It's just 11 songs that sound like For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica. No. I mean, I think it's the most special thing that you know, any of us have recorded in you know, 20 plus years of making music. So much of this started with, you know, Zach, our bass player, and I in his basement, you know, years and years ago in high school, learning For Whom the Bell Tolls in a basement. And, you know, Feel It Still is a pop smash. And we had no idea that song was going to do what it did. That song took on a life of its own, and it's, you know, it's super special, and we didn't want to go out and try and recreate Feel It Still times 10. So a lot of what you hear on this record is introspective. A lot of it's piano driven, organ driven. It's all real instruments and real playing, and you know, deep pocket and good feel, and it's a feeler, man. It's got an emotional arc of an album that I haven't heard from us, and I haven't really heard anybody make an album like this in a long time. It feels a little bit like a throwback, but it still feels really, really fresh. And I don't know, man. I'm so excited to get it out. Like,
And is that why you know, the What Me Worry song comes with this video that also seems to satirize several things? You know,
Yeah.
I listen to the songs and I'm happy and I want to dance to it, but I saw the video and I was like, okay, the world's on fire, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of become our thing. Feel It Still had a similar kind of vibe, and the video for that is kind of a post-apocalyptic hellscape too. There's fire and brimstone and uncertainty. What Me Worry is just all kind of from that spirit of Mad Magazine, if that was common in Colombia, I'm not sure, but we all grew up with Mad and loving satire and just loving the ability to kind of find the absurdity and the humor in everything. And I think now, coming out of this crazy thing that we're all coming out of, and all the kind of collective depression that we felt over the last couple of years, What Me Worry was just kind of like trying to get back to that spirit of, yeah, you can make fun of anything, and you should make fun of everything. Like, there's always a sense of humor to be found in every single thing, even if you're terrified, even if it's sad. And that was just the spirit of that. So why not dance to it? You know, dance your worries away.
While everything's on fire.
Yeah. 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 When life gives you lemons, just drink a glass of warm milk and let the fire burn down in the background.
Okay. I read somewhere that you guys are working for this album with Ryan Tedder and I just forgot the other name. I wanted to know about
Jeff Basker.
Yeah, Jeff Basker. Are they just working for this track, What Me Worry, or are they producing the whole record?
So we got Jeff Basker on everything, and he's incredible. We got him singing on everything. We got him playing on everything. He's a dude. He's been a secret weapon for pop stars in the States for years, and people are just kind of starting to find out about him. But he's still a little bit of a secret, so like we can buddy up with him. Obviously he's done incredible work with Kanye. He's done incredible work with a lot of people, but yeah, we snagged him for the whole record. And the thing that people don't know about him is he's got the voice of an angel. He's got this really smooth R&B, just like incredible voice. He sings like Babyface. It's unbelievable. Yeah, and he rips on keys. He plays Hammond organ, plays synthesizer on a lot of stuff. He's incredible. He's been such a great spirit to work with. Ryan Tedder, we just got him for that one track, and that was a super quick collaboration at his spot down in LA. Definitely want to work with that guy more. He is delightful, super handsome, super funny, and just like he's got all that pop knowledge, all that music knowledge just brimming out of his head. So that was a super cool experience. Ryan, if you're listening to Radioacktiva, call me. We want to work more.
Cool, because he's royalty. Ryan Tedder is royalty. He's written for songs for Adele and Bruno Mars and God knows how many more.
Portugal The Man,
of course. But that was another unexpected thing. I was like, Ryan Tedder working with Portugal The Man. How did it happen that you decided to bring him in for this particular song?
I think that's Jeff Basker. I think they've got their private club of extremely wealthy pop stars that they all go to, and they mingle, and they're like, like the number of connections that Jeff Basker has, like the crazy names that guy has in his phone is like it's a who's who. It's just a Rolodex in there. So I think that was one of those connections. But I also think that John, our singer, has been, talking to Tedder a lot over the years. And I think there was a little bit of a relationship before. And then it was sort of like one of those ideas like, hey, like you guys should work together. And then, we're like, we've been trying to work with this guy for years. But, for as incredible as his catalog is and what a heavy hitter he is and everything, he still is a good time boy. He's like us, he's got the same sense of humor, and he's not so serious. He's kind of a prankster and kind of a jokester, and we love that.
Cool. About catalog, this is about to be the 9th record, right?
Yeah.
How does it feel looking backward? I remember the first track we heard here in Colombia, like heavily in radio, Purple, Yellow, Red, and Blue. I think that was the first one that actually aired on a few radio stations here in the country. And I think the sound has changed. Of course, it's still Portugal The Man, but how does it feel looking backwards?
That's all we do. And we've had kind of nothing but time the last couple of years, like obviously our industry kind of grinded to a halt for a bit. So there was a lot of time to look backwards and a lot of time just to get the perspective of what the last few years looked like for us. There was so many things that we did on Feel It Still on that tour that just all felt like such a blur because it was all happening so fast. And we always said, like when we were in it, like people would ask us, what's it feel like? What's the success feel like? We'd be like, I have no idea, because we're still in it and the machine's still turning around. So like this little pause that we just got over the last couple of years was incredible because we really got to go back and remember why we do this. And remember why we got into music and why we picked up guitars and started writing songs in the first place, like years and years and years ago. It's wild. And we still collectively feel just like incredibly lucky to still be here and to still be doing what we do. It's honestly an honor just to be still cranking them out and still getting up on stage and tuning up guitars and being loud. Yeah, who would have thought? A bunch of kids from Alaska and just talking to our favorite radio station in Colombia. It's still I still have so many moments where I'm just like, wow.
About the record, the coming album, where was it recorded? Are you guys in LA, New York, or Chicago? Where are you guys?
Everywhere, man. Most of the recording that you're hearing is LA. It goes like, they're sort of in order. It's like LA, Portland, Seattle, like Winterthur, Switzerland, you know, like kind of all over the place. And that's the cool thing about everyone having portable rigs and Pro Tools getting smaller and smaller is when you get a good idea, throw up the laptop, set up a couple of mics and go to town.
And you just mentioned, you know, you guys took a long break. Woodstock was published on 2017.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So about these songs, when did you guys start working on these new tracks?
Before Woodstock came out. When we were on those tours, we were writing on the road. You know, we were always writing stuff, and we had a bunch of different sessions that really felt like, okay, this is going to be the meat and potatoes of what's going to be a record, and then that would sort of spin off and become something else. We did a track with Weird Al Yankovic as a single a year ago. There was a lot of production out of those sessions that felt like that was going to be the whole record, and then it kind of splintered off and became other things. And you know, one of them became that song that we did with Weird Al, which was great. There was a bunch of stuff that we were doing with Sean C in Portland that ended up being more of a you know, what the session that came out of that was for Black Thought from The Roots. So we ended up getting a bunch of tracks on the last Black Thought record, but that was born out of a lot of studio time where it's like, all right, we're going to get like 9-10 songs. We've recorded a ton is the long story short. And there's been a bunch of sessions. But we know now, like looking at all of it, looking at the whole scope, we've got it narrowed down to like, you know, a 40-minute record. And the singles are there and the record says something and it's all cohesive. It feels right. So we had to work 5 years with a bunch of different people in a bunch of different places to get where we're at with this thing. And we're all super proud of where we ended up with it. We know it was the right move.
Are we going to have any collaborations on the record? Am I even allowed to ask?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to say any names, but always have. There's always collaborations. And again, that's the thing with working with a guy like Jeff Basker. You know, he's got the phone, you know, he's got the connections. So there was all kinds of fun characters in and out. I don't think I can tell you a single one of them.
Okay, no, I get it. I respect that, but of course I had to ask, you know.
But I will say there's some unexpected names, and like we're not just digging from hip hop and we're not just digging from rock. We're looking all around. And yeah, there's been some real fun collaborations on this one.
Great, man. Thank you very much. I'll be looking forward for the album, for the unexpected guests, and of course listening to more songs and more humor and satirize and all that. Sounds great so far. So congratulations on a great track, and look forward to having you guys coming to Colombia once again.
Thank you, Julio. We loved it there, man. God, it was such a treat doing a stereo picnic a couple of years ago. I really, genuinely, no BS, fell absolutely in love with Colombia. I can't wait to get back.
Well, you have a bunch of fans waiting for you guys here.
We're getting there as soon as we can, man. I'm gonna get in my car and start driving south. I'll see you when I see you.
Cool, man. That's it. Thank you very much. Have a very nice day.
All right, you too, Julio. Thanks.